Hello. Well, I'm continuing to make greeting cards, and I thought I would have you follow along here with me while I do this greeting card for my friend Jay, who is having a little retirement party tonight. So what I'm going to do is just grab a brush here of some kind. This one maybe will do, I don't know. Here's the one I grabbed, but let's see if I have a better one here. Sorry, I'm not a little bit more prepared. I tried to be. What I did was just made a real simple drawing on the front of this card and taped it down. Just some balloons flying around. And then inside my cards, I always take and put a little bookmarker, which is over here. But let's just start by, let me wet down my paint just a little bit. Maybe even my card just a tiny bit. We'll see how this goes. I've already drawn the picture on here. Just something really simple. And I am hoping that I can get this background paint on light enough that it covers, but I can see the balloons and everything that I need to go ahead and paint through it. Looks like it's turning out okay. The kitties are out here on the front porch with me this morning. And I'm hoping that they are going to be nice and not get in too much trouble out here while I'm trying to paint. So if they do, I've decided I'll just, if they get too rambunctious, I can just turn on my hair dryer, because they do not like the hair dryer. And that way they will just go ahead and maybe take off back into the house. But hopefully everything will go well, and we'll get to see how this turns out. Ooh, got a little bit too much paint on there. Oh well. Oh well, it is what it is. Okay, now then. And of course, we know this is acrylic, so it's going to dry a little bit lighter than what I put it on. Let me give this another squirt of water real quick. Oops. Okay. This card is trying to buckle up a little bit on me, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'll get the hair dryer out, dry it out better here in just a little bit. Okay, I think that's going to be good enough for right now. Just kind of get that on there as evenly as I can. And I didn't get the best brush for this. It's leaving a lot of strokes, but we're going to go with it for right now. And give me just a minute. I'm going to dry this out a bit so I can see where I am. Like I said, things don't always go smoothly when I'm trying to do this. In fact, they hardly ever do. And the sheet here that I've got my paints on tried to blow away my loose paints. So, I see the brush that would have probably been better for this, and that's this one, which I may just wet down here a tiny bit and try to get some of these strokes out that I wasn't crazy about. But even if you do get the paint strokes in there, it'll be okay. Just don't charge any extra for that. Okay, there we go. Good enough. And then I have some colors out here, and for these little balloons, I've got my filbert brush here. It's a small filbert, and I'm hoping that's going to work well. I have some. Now, I'm painting the balloons. I'm going to try to do these balloons with a gouache. I think that'll make them, you know, a bit shinier and prettier. We'll just see how that works out. But I mean, you can actually do this with just about anything you want, just regular acrylics, or like I'm going to try to do here with the gouache, just to get it a little more shiny. We'll see how it works. Okay, here we go. Sometimes, and I do this a lot, I use a regular acrylics, and then I go over it with a gouache. But today I thought I'd just try something different. And I'm going to move around here to some different balloons and just try to get several of the greens wherever I think a green might go. Let's just put them all in here at once. And I'm just kind of speckling them through here and there. Of course, they do not have to be perfect. Okay. While I'm at it, I might as well make one of these green, I guess. This is over here on the bookmark. Okay, there's that one. And maybe a few more green in here if I can find the right place. Because I put a bunch of balloons in here. And then the cords, the string, I just did with an ink pen. Okay? I'm going to clear this out, clean this off a little bit, just with a paper towel before I move on to the next color. Okay, let's try some pink. Let's see how that works. And I try to kind of do circular motions on these balloons, so it kind of feels like, you know, they're round and maybe there's some movement there. I did one of these the other day, and I have a little, might show it to you later. I have a little man down here at the bottom holding all the balloons, and they're just taken off with him. His feet looks like they're off the ground. And maybe he's just fixing to fly up into the air there. I tried to get, I've got 4 colors out here to put in the balloons because I really wanted to make this colorful. as colorful as I could and get the balloons as shiny as I can. So that's why I'm using the gouache on them. A few more. And if you get out of the lines, don't worry. It's going to be fine. It'll be beautiful no matter what you do. And people generally are just impressed that you took the time to do something by hand like this, which is really nice. And I will probably have to come back here and put some more of these colors in. But we'll see how this all goes. Okay, let's put another color in here, maybe some yellow. Once again, I'm going to clean out my brush here. Just a bit. It's not all coming out, but enough. Okay, and then I said yellow, didn't I? Okay, let's try some nice, bright, and glossy yellow here. Hope you can hear me. Hope you can see what's going on and how I put this together. This is the front of the card. Of course, this over here will be the back, and then this is the bookmark. Okay. And if you want to see some of the other cards that I've made, they are all here in my different videos. You can just look them up if you want to. But they're all really, really simple drawings. I just sent one to my daughter. The flowers are a bit more complex. But really, I think these, like the balloons, are really simple to draw. Just practice a little bit. And then go ahead and put them on your cards. You'll be amazed at how simple. Uh-oh, we got a little kitty rushing by. Okay. I think I'm going to try to get her down. Get down, Tinkerbell. I have to. I'll turn the air dryer on and give her a little scare. Okay, let's see. Maybe I'll put one more there. And maybe I'll go over here on the bookmark and, oops, make this one yellow. I don't know why, but my paints over here are really trying to get away from me today, so I'm going to tape them down again. Okay, this one. Okay. And then a little more on this. I love my kitties so much, but when they are trying to help me paint, it can be a real major issue. All right, let's put some. So far, I've got the 3 colors. Okay, let's put some of this purple in there. Yeah, that's pretty. I'm calling this purple. It's actually more of a, I don't know if it's lilac or blue. I'm not sure, but but it's going to be fine. Okay. There's this. And this. Just kind of careful with that one. Okay. I think that is going to do it. I drew this whole thing out in pencil. Then I went around all of it with ink, and then I'm painting it in, as you can see, with the gouache colors. I like the gouache on cards because it makes them kind of glossy and kind of stand out. And I always think that's pretty. Maybe we could, just for fun, put one back here. Let's just see if we can. This one got a little bit wonky here. It's okay, we'll make it behave just a little bit. And we'll just put a nice long string on it. There we go. And we'll paint it too. Let's see, what color do we want it to be? Maybe that purple will be fine. Though I'm really liking. Though I am really liking how that yellow stands out. And see, when you paint over this, you can kind of straighten it out a little bit. If you've got any boo-boos. There. Okay. I think that will be fine. I don't remember if I put one on the inside of the card or not. But let's dry this out a little bit. I think my background could have been just a bit better, but you know what we can do with that? We can get this brush may be too big. That one may be too big for what I'm thinking about. But I'm sure I got another one here somewhere that will work. Yeah, here's this. Whoops. Here's a smaller one. Pulled a couple out there. Here's one that's just a little bit smaller. And I think what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of this blue on there and just kind of come down through here, around like that, and just another little thing we can do here. If something's not quite what you want it to be, well, just put a little bit of accent in here. Yeah. Put a few little accents in here. And that can pretty much just straighten out anything that maybe doesn't look exactly like you want it. Put some little accents in there. Now then, there is that. You could put some more squiggles and wiggles in there if you wanted to. Just do all kinds of things. But honestly, I think this is going to be good. Let me dry this out a little bit. And then I'll just take it off my table here and let you have a look at it. I'm going to get as much of that paint out of here as I can. Okay. And then I'll have to take and wash those out really good later. But, okay, I'm going to turn the hairdryer on for a minute just to give this a quick dry. And I hope I don't terrify my kitties too much. We'll see. That is not completely dry, but I think it's dry enough that I can take the tape off and let you have a little bit better, idea. Oh, I don't like that. The tape stuck too tight. And sometimes it does that, which I really do not appreciate. You have to be really kind of careful when you're pulling this tape off. Sometimes it comes off real smooth and easy like that one did, and sometimes it wants to not come off properly and cause you to have a snag. Most things you can fix though. Like, I don't know if you can see it or not. I have kind of a little snag right here. Yeah. A little snag right down here. But what I will do is put a little bit of glue on that, or just a little bit of Mod Podge or whatever, and glue that down. Because it did tear a little bit. There's always a way to fix things if it's not too awful bad. Okay. Now then, here we go. These are not completely dry, but they're dry enough that I can show you what we've got here. This is the back. This is the front. The card will be folded over like this. And you can probably see it says, "Congrats on your retirement." Front. And then this is the back of the card. Just got a little balloon on there. Okay. Oh, I've got another balloon inside to do too, but I'm going to have to let this dry out a bit. So I'm going to let that dry out. This is how the bookmarker turned out. Okay. I hope that you can see these, and what I'll do is just put the bookmarker inside the card. Always, if you're trying to do these, I would suggest that you always make sure that your card is going to fit into your envelope. I usually use these business size, just oblong envelopes, and they fit in there really nice. And anytime your card doesn't fit, just cut it down till it does fit. But make sure you do that before you put your picture or your painting on, and you'll have a lot better luck with it. So, okay, I hope this was fun for you. It was definitely fun for me. And I will see you next time. Keep on painting.